Okay, GT, I'm going to try get a few ideas. I guess better to get off a few ideas than get everything all scrambled up. See how this turns out. You know, I don't know how this is going to turn out. If the video will send, or if I got to put it somewhere else and then let you go to it. I'm not sure. But anyway, I fell in love with symmetrical patterns due to Benny Jackson that I met in 1970. He's my teacher, a biblical mentor, spiritual guide, wonderful person. He lives in Virginia now, Woodbridge, Virginia. Wonderful guy. He's 75 now. I'm 69. We're still in touch. First thing I noticed about Benny was I noticed he could play the same pattern in different places and have the same meaning. So one of the first things that I learned from him was just a simple chromatic thing. Then he would, roll through its speed. You'll get the speed later, whatever, Okay. And then on the last one, these are now stuff I've added. Like that, okay? But also that's taking off from there where you can go to the lower but also from that pattern you can go to a higher place. That's kind of influenced by Charlie Parker, in part, but anyway. Met a fantastic guitar player in 1975, David Haskell from the San Francisco Bay Area. I was 25 at the time. He was 21. He was into modes. He got me into modes and the relativity of modes and stuff, So like, already, this stuff, but he did things in a different way. So like you had G major, the E minor 9, and of course some guys will put that G bass, to make it complete, like a piano, But what he did was he did a connector to a higher inversion that I had never heard. And then he inverted the G major by putting the major 7 on the bass. So you get a this inversion here, maybe you know it. And then you have some stacked 4s. And of course that's all, your bass player will take care of that. But anyway, it's inferred. That part. Okay, now there's 4 sets of chords. I think I got into, I don't know, roughly 68, 1970. The way that came about was Freddie Walker played a chord. He had big hands. And kind of like to add Pinky in there, for a little more torture. But on analogy, what I saw was I saw a D, and and then a G. And so then somewhere along the line, maybe through classical training, I don't know what happened here, but I realized you had four D6 chords. So you have that pattern again, and then you have the same pattern here for G. If you do it for D, you do it for G, and then you have some connectors in between. Starts growing. Okay, so we get back to the runs, patterns. So you got the first symmetrical. Here's a symmetrical I came up with, and of course you come up with your own symmetricals, and you'll have fun. And that clearly spells out the same identical pattern. Spells out this. Then a 6th chord. Mixing them up, right? Just by putting a little. I always like to throw chords in there. Okay, so now here's another thing I could throw at you here. Would be like there's your symmetrical. Some of those, you know, what they call wrong notes will be going by so fast, and they kind of lend to a little bit of a modulation anyway. But anyway, I don't know how I can put this here. So you kind of get that little modulation there. The main thing is you're coming to this. Slide so that it's always not so mechanical. And now you're here. So you'll kind of roll and pull off where you feel like it, you know, and according to how your rhythm works for you, you know. Okay, so and then we have two places to go, what we talked about before. Were you going to the low or you go to the high? So let me see. You have there's a pattern there. Just kind of a relative of that other one. And those are kind of that happy little blues song. Anyway, but you're talking major 7th. point being is that okay, now we have for the those little things like that. Now here's different fingering. That's going to be a little more difficult. So you connect that to either that, either way. Either here, or you can just roll off here. This is something I like from Charlie Parker, you know, because everything is just not static. Like you have a that's from Freddie Walker, but that's connecting it to a major 7. Okay. The other minor 9, remember? E. Benny Jackson. And on and on. So let me see if I can get this off with those ideas and see if that's kind of like what you're looking for. All right, we'll see.